What up? Let's talk how to stay fit while traveling. And I'm going to change my background here so you can see what's going down. Okay, here we are. Hi, how to stay fit while traveling. I just got back from a trip from Austin last weekend. And I want to talk about how can we stay in a deficit, how do we continue to lose body fat, etc. while traveling, which is really difficult, but also not very difficult at all. So let's jump in. If you don't know me, my name is Coach Samantha, and I help busy professional women lose fat, build muscle, and typically we're losing 10 to 30 pounds without losing your mind because we got a busy schedule. So we got to do what we got to do. First of all, who is in the chat today? Morgan, hello. Octavia, hey girl, what's up? Octavia is a part of my 6-week Kickstarter program, and she's extended for several weeks. So, girl, I'm excited to chat about progress because I've been seeing you kill it. So, hello. Olivia, hello. Welcome to the chat. Let's talk. I'm going to do a little bit of chit-chatting. I'll yap, and then if you have questions, please just post them in the chat, because at the end here, after about 5-10 minutes or so, I'll go back through and make sure all questions are answered. And let me just be real for a second. I need contacts, for real, but I'm referring to some of the notes that I have here because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So, let us begin with... First of all, like the mindset shift is huge because typically why most people struggle on vacation is because we are perfectionists. We are type A. We like for things to have a routine, and when we're outside of that routine, it can be really difficult and really challenging to continue the habits that we've been building on. There's also that fear of losing progress, which can sometimes lead to either restriction or just overdoing it with anxiety and kind of like binging on things, whether it's way too many drinks or way too many fried Oreos. Been there. And there's a lot of pressure sometimes to stay on track, and ultimately, relax. It's going to be okay. So the mindset shift is you don't need to do any sort of extreme tracking. You don't need to be absolutely perfect. You just need to keep these 4 things in order to stay on track. So yeah, Octavia's like, it's me, literally. So 4 non-negotiables: protein, fiber, movement, and hydration. Those 4 things will help you stay on track even if you're not fully tracking your meals. This is so important because protein is going to help keep you full. As you know, it's going to help retain your muscle, and it's also going to make sure that your blood sugar isn't spiking. When we have meals that are pancakes, right? Full of carbohydrates, full of sugar, and not really balanced with too many fats, your blood sugar is going to spike, and it's going to crash, and it's going to make you crave anything and everything later in the day. So it's really important to make sure that we have protein first thing in the day, within an hour of waking, if possible. Fiber is going to be huge. Fiber, number 1, because we want to poop. I don't know about you. I don't want to be on vacation and be completely constipated, because you're going to get all that bloating, and you're probably not going to feel very good. And you're already traveling, so your body is kind of already like, girl, WTF, right? So you need to poop, but fiber is also going to keep you satiated, same way that protein will. So I tell my clients to not have any naked carbs. Have carbs with your fiber, with your protein, with your fats, so that you're not just getting an intake of sugar hitting you. Movement, we'll talk about this, but with your movement, it doesn't have to be the hour gym-based workout you're doing, especially if you're going to a beach. I promise you a 15-minute body weight circuit, of course, is not going to get you the same results that progressive overload in the gym will get you, but it's better than doing nothing. 15 minutes of hard work is still going to help you on your journey versus doing absolutely nothing and just saying, well, it's not perfect, so I'm not going to do it. Girl, what is that going to help you do? Absolutely nothing. So even if it's not a workout, choosing activities that are more active, like hiking, whether you are, if you're going to Machu Picchu, walk the stairs. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them. So stairs, what other activities could you do? Even if you want to go to a workout class as a fun thing, we're traveling, we want to see what classes are like in other places, do it. A lot of places will have maybe like a free Zumba class, which would be more fun than anything else. And if you're like me and not super coordinated, you make a fool of yourself and have a good time. So hydration is also going to be huge. I tell my clients to have 1 bottle of water for every hour you spend on a plane. And I am not recommending to have that bottle of water while you're on the plane, unless you don't mind getting up and going to the bathroom on a plane 30,000 times. I try to avoid it as much as possible. So I actually like to get one of those little Vita Cocos and have coconut water with me on the plane. Number 1, I know it's safe filtered water. And number 2, it's going to have electrolytes that are going to help you stay hydrated, not get a headache, and not feel like absolute dookie throughout the day. So, the other thing to think about here is when we are going on vacation, you want to plan ahead. Sorry, not sorry, planning ahead is going to be the end all be all for helping you. Figure out where you're staying. If you're in a hotel room, are you going to have access to a full kitchen? Or will it be a situation where you're necessarily like just a room, no microwave, no fridge? Because that'll change what you can do. If you have the full kitchen, you can go out, get groceries, do the full gambit, right? My client Julie, whenever she goes to Vegas, I don't know if you've been to Vegas before, I never have, but the hotel rooms don't even have microwaves. And so she brings cold food. It's drivable for her. So she drives with a cooler that has her chicken and meals prepped, and she just keeps it in there and gets ice from the ice machine of the hotel. Such a smart hack. So that's what I recommend. But thinking about too, do you have grocery stores nearby? Do you have restaurants nearby? Will the restaurants be something where it's more like fast food, fried food, or will you have access to good, whole, unprocessed, not super calorically dense foods? Also, again, plan ahead. Are you going to have access to your gym, or will you need a body weight routine? I have my clients fill out reflections every single week where we track progress. So we go through that every week and plan ahead for what's to come. So by the time their vacation comes, they already have workouts built for them. They don't need to think about it, and it's already on their agenda. So all they do is open their app and do their workout. No planning, no thinking involved. Here's one of the best things that I discovered. Bringing protein with you is the greatest thing you could possibly do, not just for managing your blood sugar, but also for not becoming a monster, because I tend to do that. Because literally on the plane, I brought a bag of cooked chicken that my boyfriend had made the day before, and literally was just like on the plane eating said chicken. Like, bring stuff with you. You don't have to just have the lame Biscoff treats and pretzels or whatever that they give you on the plane. Hey, Jay. The other thing to think about, like, bring your protein bars. Bring protein powder. I like to bring, if you really need to, bring protein powder in a baggie and bring a shaker with you. So no matter where you go, you can have a protein shake with you. Turkey jerky is also a really great resource because that's going to be something that doesn't need to be refrigerated and you can keep on hand while you're in the airport, especially if your flight gets delayed and you don't want a croissant, there's not always great options in airports. So keep in mind, you may not be able to depend on that, especially if it's like midnight. There's not always places even open. So bringing that kind of stuff. And then when you're out to eat on vacation, just remember like what we always talk about. Number one being everything in moderation, but fajitas are such a huge hack for when you're on vacation, especially in Spanish, Hispanic, Latin areas. You get to control what goes in your mouth and what's on the plate because they give you all the supplies and you're essentially constructing your little perfect meal as you're eating it. And then you can take those leftovers with you if you want. So I love fajitas because you can really portion control. Things like build your own bowls, like a Chipotle situation. We had this like harvest place in Austin called Sweet Greens. You got to decide like sweet potato base, any greens like kale, apples, grilled chicken for your topping. Like you get to construct the meal that's going to work with your goals, which is like a dream because there's no cooking, no cleanup, and you just get to eat and walk away. Grilled over fried, sauce on the side. Remember that. So then also alcohol. Everybody's biggest thing. You know me, I really don't drink that much at all. I am a mocktail girly, but I live in the real world. My clients also drink, so we got to know, how do we navigate this? First thing you need to understand is alcohol is a toxin. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is going to potentially stall your progress because it can stop your fat metabolization. Thank you. 24 hours after you have your alcohol. And if you're getting like drunk, it can be up to 72 hours that your body is not going to be able to burn fat because it's focused on instead getting that out of your system. So just think about that. Something to consider. Now, that said, things that are going to really help you, vodka soda with lime, really any hard liquor with soda water and lime or orange slice or whatever. It's going to be so much better than a pre-made sugary drink like margaritas or daiquiris, even pina coladas, and I love a pina colada. But be smart about it too, because if they do have like a skinny margarita, they're taking out all the stuff that's going to make it extra sugary and extra not great for you. So with your alcohol, hard liquor plus soda water is a great choice. Super on the lower calorie end there, but keep in mind, even these drinks are likely somewhere between 80 to 130 calories per drink. So if you're having 5 drinks in a night, you'll probably want to plan ahead for 500 calories of alcohol. Okay? You see how quickly these things add up. That's why it's important to be aware, and especially if you go in with a goal of like, I'm just going to have 2 drinks this night and I'll be okay and I'll have soda or water the rest of the night. Then you know you're saving yourself calories. You can also pre-plan ahead and say, yeah, I'm going to have 500 calories of alcohol, so my meals are just going to be smaller. And I'm going to get really lean protein and not a whole lot of carbs because I'll get that from the alcohol. Yeah, please eat before you go drinking, for the love of all that is holy. And ultimately, whether or not you log your meals while you're out comes down to your priority. Is your priority to be completely snatched? Then you probably want to log. Sorry, that's just the truth of it all. If your priority is, I want to turn off my brain, I want to relax, I just want to eat intuitively for 2 weeks, come back from vacation and just like hit the ground running. Like I had one of my clients just returned from Albania where she didn't track, and when she came back, she actually had lost weight because they did so much walking. It's basic thermodynamics, right? So you don't need to track to be successful, but it will definitely help you, especially if you're in the beginning stages. Keep in mind that everyone's in a different space in their journey. So I could probably have a lot more freedom in what I do versus if you're 300 pounds and just starting out and not sure what your portion sizes look like. Everyone's different, so focus on what you can do and what you can do, or what you can control and what's best for you versus what everyone around you is doing, right? Cool. I think really... Oh, duh. When you come home, please chill out. You don't need to start over. Like, it's not that serious. You had a vacation, you had fun. Now let's just get back into your routine. Things that are going to help you are, number 1, resuming your normal routine. Please do not restrict yourself. If you're starving yourself after vacation, I promise you, it's actually going to sabotage you more than it's going to help you. Research has shown us that having a moderate amount of calories that you typically consume after having an influx of calories helps you metabolize versus starving yourself, which creates inconsistency, which makes your body go, do we need to hold on to this? I don't know, right? So please, please, please be smart about that. Don't feel guilty. Like, it happened. It's in the past. You can't change it anyway. If you spend all your time looking back, you're going to miss what's forward, right? Now, the other thing to think about too is like, how did it go? Did you enjoy yourself? What things did you learn while you were there about being healthy or tracking that could help you next time? It's not about being perfect. It's about building habits that are going to last you. So with all that to say, the other thing that is super helpful, when you come back, you can order your groceries so that they're delivered to your door. So if you come home from the grocery store, if you come home from the airport and it's 11 p.m. and you got to work at 6 a.m., your groceries are already there. Or you can even order meals that are like pre-made meals, like a Chipotle bowl or whatever, and eat that at work the next day for lunch. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be functional and it has to work, right? Okay, so I think that's all I have for you. Let's do a little Q&A. Do we have any questions about how to stay fit while traveling? And if not on that, do we have any specific questions about anything? About losing body fat, building muscle, crickets. So, if you don't know me, again, my name is Coach Samantha, and I help busy professional women lose 10 to 30 pounds of body fat, build muscle, and do so without losing their minds, and not starting over, especially not starting over every Monday. So, this live will be posted to my page, so you can always come back and watch from the beginning if you joined a little late. I also did just post a YouTube video a few days ago about a breakfast of like a cook with me situation. So, enjoy, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Friday, and we will talk soon. Bye.